Hello, love. This is not going to be a typical Transmission Tuesdays message. I'm going to start by giving just a little bit of an update. It's funny, I'm hearing personally and collectively because I do feel that maybe, and it goes without saying that if I am going through something, guaranteed someone else's, right? We are all one at the end of the day and reflections of each other. So the personal / collective update is that this channel, this energy, the spirit that is the Libran key is yet again shifting. And I keep on hearing heart activation. That's actually one of the things that came through in the meditation before I started recording here. Specifically, expressions of the heart is what I heard. I'm just going to bring the crystals that I've kind of been filling in this space here of the energy as I sit here and meditate and get prepared to do this reading. Bringing in the energy of rose quartz here and kyanite as I share this with you. Because part of this is an expression of the heart from my perspective, and what I'm being shown and what Spirit, Momma Gaia, Source, Spirit Divine has been showing me is a shift in things and how that is looking in the physical for me, okay? Connected to this energy that is the Libran key. So moving forward, there's going to be changes to the channel. How exactly that's going to look, I don't even know yet, but I'm feeling called to share that with you. And part of it is connected to this reading as well, because the focus of this reading is going to be almost like a group reading for the ELSH collective, Awakened and Awakening Souls, for each and every one of you who considers themselves to be part of the Libran Key family, part of the Libran Key soul family, also the ELSH collective, empaths, lightworkers, starseeds, and healers, awakened and awakening souls, okay? Also, I am being called again to create very specific, almost like activation packages in a way. I guess that's how they're looking in the physical right now. Readings, I'm hearing soul initiations, remembering who we are. These are going to look something like one-on-one readings from what they're showing me. Again, I don't know the details of that yet, although I have a feeling it's not going to take that long to know, because there's a lot that's been percolating already. And I will be announcing that in the days moving forward, Earth time wise, okay? Thank you, each and every one of you who have reached out to me or who have left comments regarding, readings, sessions, things like that. This may also look like something in a group format as well. I'm just putting that out there if you're interested, or if that's something that's pinging for you or calling you, okay? Something is shifting here. I've always, like, the whole purpose of me even starting this particular channel, which really in a way, it started on Instagram. It started with me popping cards on Instagram after I had a huge awakening, spiritually and specifically galactically. I always call it my Starseed awakening in 2020, when the shit was hitting the fan. And I know that I'm not the only one. I know that there are a lot of souls that really came fully online in 2020. If you're one of those, please feel free to share in the comments below. One of the things and one of the messages that I keep on getting is that we need to start sharing this more. We tend to be lone wolves especially those of us who go through spiritual awakening that's unique, that's different. It can be difficult to share these things. There's a lot of religious programming and programming in general around that. One of the things that I want to see in the world is each and every one of us speaking about our spirituality, our practices, our connection to the divine, our intuition, our communication with spirits, like it's talking about the weather, because that is the massive remembering that we are all going through. A return back to what is actually true and what is real, okay? Okay, so having said all of that, the whole reason I started the Libran Key, which really started on Instagram, like I said, was because I wanted each and every soul out there going through what I was going through, essentially, to not feel alone and not feel crazy and know that they're not alone. And that is why the ELSH collective for me is such a big part of this and what I do. Souls going through spiritual awakenings, awakening to the truth, awakening to love, awakening to the fact that we are all one, okay? Okay, so having said all that, this reading, I don't feel it's going to be very long. We'll see how it goes. This reading is going to be like a group reading. So I am opening this reading up to messages of soul support at this moment, in this eternal now moment, whenever you see this video. It is currently Earth date Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. Whenever you come across this message, this video, timely yet timeless as always, that there be something here in support of your soul, however that takes effect or form, okay? Whether it's an activation, whether it's a confirmation, whether it is some form of, I'm hearing initiation, instigation, or awakening for you, okay? There is a lot currently at this Earth date moment in time going on energetically. It was like night and day from yesterday to today for me. Their spirit is confirming that these are part of the quote-unquote ascension symptoms, but I like to think of them as experiences as opposed to symptoms because something good is happening. Whenever we have symptoms in the body, when we are sick, for example, like when we have a cold, our body, those symptoms are actually healing, right? That's actually a form of healing. So I don't know what's going on with the solar flares right now or the Schumann frequency. I don't really stay on top of those things for whatever reason. I've never really been guided to really stay on top of those things, but they always come up very synchronistically when I need to have some kind of confirmation as to why I am feeling the way that I'm feeling. Today just feels incredibly overwhelming, like emotionally. There's a lot going on. I know astrologically that's contributing to that. This 29th anaretic degree of Pluto in Capricorn, I think, is a big part of this. I'm curious if any of you are what is referred to in astrology as Plutonic types. And what I mean by that is, do you have Pluto prominently placed in your chart? Because what I'm finding is that people I know who are Plutonic in nature, and we are in Scorpio season, so that could be why, again, this is so palpable, right? Again, I always forget that. It's like right there. I guess because most of the time I'm always sort of feeling this way. because I am one of these Plutonics, I guess you could call it, right? Souls. I find that there's just a lot. How can I describe this, Spirit? Give me a good way to describe this to people. So they're showing me the energy of Phoenix, of the Phoenix in the fire, okay? This energy of regeneration. I'm also seeing a chrysalis and then busting out of a cocoon. So essentially these are like what we would call labor pains. But what's really interesting is that we have a very narrow view of labor and giving birth that has always been seen through a lens of pain, when in fact it is an orgasmic lens. There's a lot to say about this. I'm not going to get into that in this video. If you know, please leave something in the comments below. Maybe this is another topic for discussion, but so much of that has to do with the fear of the feminine in this particular timeline of history that we have been exposed to. It's very connected to indoctrination and programming around childbirth and what that means. So having said all of that, there is an alchemy taking place here, and it can feel like, I mean, take this however it resonates, like the pressure building before you orgasm. It can be exactly like that, where this birth or release wants to take place. And what they're showing me is this divine feminine energy of really breathing into it and coming back into the body. Thank you, Spirit. Before I actually didn't pop the cards. They popped out of this deck just as I was shuffling. I'm going to be asking through the wisdom of the Oracle, this little pocket. I love these little cards. They're like a card deck size, and they're really, anyway. When I was just shuffling them to get ready, breathe was at the bottom of the deck. And I right away was like, yes, Spirit. Exactly. And I even wrote down the question. What did I write down? Breathing. Are we even breathing properly? Okay, so that could be just something very practical. 1222 on the counter as I say that. About breath and breath work. It's really simple. It is a lot simpler than we think it is, okay? Oh, wow. There's a Venusian energy very much coming through here around the depth of our breath in terms of how we are experiencing something. And that breath is one of the most basic ways that we begin to alchemize energy in the body and also regulate our nervous system. Okay, I'm asking first from the Rose Oracle. I'm just going to, after the rain. Silver lining, relief, hope, mercy. It's over acceptance. What I love, 1313 on a counter when I say that. So yeah, this is about some kind of ego death that we're all experiencing on some level, or just a death to a habit, or a death to a way of life. They're showing me the chrysalis again, and the butterfly wanting to pop through the chrysalis, okay? Really emphasizing the rainbow here. This is connected to Rainbow Warrior, Rainbow Prophecies, Rainbow Children. This is also connected to the many spectrums and multidimensionality that we are. I'm also getting the energy here of the Rainbow Bridge and this bridging of realms. Again, death though. Death, and Pluto is so connected to this, right? So Plutonic types. Okay, so this could be any kind of prominent Scorpio placements, prominent Pluto conjunctions in your chart. I'm even hearing oppositions. Isn't that interesting? Okay. Did I say Scorpio? Did I say Scorpio placements as well? Eighth house placements. Okay. All connected to Pluto. All right. Yeah. Something about the energy of Pluto in retrograde. How's this connected, Spirit? Is it currently what we're talking about right now? Okay, Pluto aspects. Really interesting. I'm also getting, they're referring to my, is that correct? Am I, okay. Mercury being a part of this as well in your chart. So Mercury retrograde, if you were born during a Mercury retrograde, something connected to, again, okay, where in your chart and the aspects it's making, and something with Pluto. Yeah, Brothers of the Rose, sacred masculine, honor, protection, and support. Okay. And I felt this coming through even with the deck. So there's a connection here to the lineage of the rose as well. You see how this woman is pregnant? This goes back to what I was speaking to earlier about how we're birthing something new, and we're literally going through this contraction before release, before expansion. This is a whole new understanding for some of us of the feminine, of what it means to truly embrace the divine feminine. So some of us are really struggling with that currently in terms of trying to find this balance. Okay, and now what I'm being shown by Pluto is this energy of Persephone, the story of Persephone and Demeter. Persephone and Dimitra, okay? I don't know, I'm being called to say their names in Greek. Plutonas. Adis. Okay, there's something in that that's supposed to be, I don't know, pinging for you. They're giving me the image of like sparkle, like there's dust in, there's some kind of fairy dust in that, okay? Okay, and he's showing me, again, the etymology that's connected to these words. There's a lot here. Okay, if this is pinging for you, I invite you to go search, look that up, because I can go off, but they don't want me to do that. They want you to discover that for yourself. But he's specifically pointing me to Persephone and phony and the word so. Okay, this goes back to sound, the energy of sound. Okay, this is connected to the breath work and the breath work and the sound healing and sound frequencies, sounds of the feminine. This is another practical way to bring this into our lives day to day to help integrate these heart activations, integrate these feminine energies through sound. I recently discovered a beautiful artist, Elsa Field, and a piece that she has created called the Mary Magdalene Frequency. If that's pinging for you, if I can find that here on YouTube, I will link that video down. Okay, all that glitter's coming out in reverse. There's something incredibly powerful in that voice and her frequency. Look at that with the yin in reverse at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to read from the book for this, okay? Because when these cards are in reverse, it is a sign of protection, of safety, and interestingly enough, I'm being shown that even the yin in reverse is about going into the feminine. They want me to start there. Okay, so that is number 2. Let me read that. Why do I feel like I'm already there and I'm just flipping through these babies without it? Okay, here we go. This is also again about this yin coming out in reverse is just another example of how misaligned our ideas of the feminine are. This feminine energy, again, being on a spectrum. Childbirth, the pleasure that's actually innate in childbirth, not pain. Okay, it's actually getting me very, it's getting me very angry. Like I'm feeling a lot of anger. But this feels like This feels like divine feminine rage. That's what it feels like. Again, how do we alchemize that, right? Okay, they want me to read the message here. Do you have trouble receiving? You stop the flow of abundance when you continually insist upon being the giver. You can't always lead, always give, always teach. You must be the student, the open vessel, and the one who receives the gift, gesture, or offer in equal measure. Open up and let love, life, abundance, and spirit fill you. Without demand or expectation, just receive the bounty that is yours. Receive the bounty that is yours. They're showing me that there's an answer here in all that glitters. They actually want me to go to the essential meanings message for that. Okay, a need to see beyond the superficial, the desire to don a mask or dress something up to disguise its true nature, trying to be something you're not, being mercurial. Okay, this is coming back to Mercury. This is a signal to walk away from what you're contemplating. There is a thin veneer of glitter and sparkle that masks something rotten underneath. Pursuing it will only bring about a difficult situation you will be sorry you got yourself into. Stay away. Isn't it wonderful how Spirit protects you? Better things await. Okay. I'm going to pop. They're telling me that those are just straightforward. They don't want me to go into anything more than this. I'm just going to pop now from the Everyday Witch Tarot for just some additional information about these masks and this inability to receive. So a lot of it is, okay. Okay. I'm hearing that this is about truly understanding our own divine feminine. This is about claiming our own divine feminine energy. This isn't about taking on a divine feminine that we think we need to take on, but there's something incredibly potent here. 2222 on the counter. There's something very potent here about receiving. We're not allowing ourselves for some reason to receive something that we need. There's a blockage there, or there's something that we're doing it in a way where there's a misconception around it in some way. The magician coming out here, okay? What I'm getting with that, okay. Yeah. So it's about the being versus the doing. But I'm also hearing, put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is. Walk the walk. Be the bee. Be the bee. Although maybe there's a play on words there about bee and queen bee. And the bee is in the insect bee. And now they're showing me the stinger on the bee. Oh, very interesting. Again, spectrums in the divine feminine. For some of you, this is a call to really embody some kind of path of divine feminine initiation, some kind of priestesshood, whether it's connected to the rose lineage, whether it's connected to Venusian consciousness, Christ consciousness, Mary Magdalene, the energies of Mother Mary, okay? They want me to stop actually and look at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, Two of Swords, because you have to trust what is within. They're showing me the cat and the crow here as examples of the feminine and the masculine. The broom is coming in as a form of divine safety, protection of the feminine. There's also something here about muscle memory, nervous system regulation, breathwork, sound healing, okay? There's something in these modalities that can really be assisting us right now. Okay, and there's an urgency as well coming through with like, you have to make time for this. You've got to make this a priority. We all do, okay? When I say you, I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to everyone. Maybe it's just having a really good cry about something. I'm actually seeing someone in their room, for example, like on the floor, just like writhing, like almost like they're having like what we would say of a child having a temper tantrum. Even though that phrasing is like so ridiculous now that I think about it, when it comes to what's actually happening in the body when that happens. So there's some kind of release again. Okay, so there's a release that needs to take place, and you will see fit to that in whatever way you see fit to how that needs to happen in a healthy way. There's a release that needs to take place here in order for the receiving to come in. Hence this Pluto energy, hence this death card energy. 1313 earlier, this energy of allowing something to go. Because what I'm hearing is we're on the precipice of a new cycle. We're on the precipice of a new phase. And when we do the work individually, we're reverberating that work as always out into the collective. So even though I might not know right now exactly what you are going through, my own work around this is helping you, and vice versa. And that's a really beautiful thing. And I thank you for that. I'm going to end the reading there. Thank you, Spirit, for these beautiful messages. I thank you for sharing your time and your energy with us in this space. Thank you for all your beautiful likes, subscribes, comments, shares, for being brave, for being courageous in your vulnerability, in your strength. I'm sending you so much love wherever you are. In love and liberation always.